All right, first graders. So this week we are learning all about elections because this week we are having an election in our country. So we are going to read this today and then we'll have an activity to do after. This says all about elections. It's election season. Do you know what that means? This is the time of year where adults who are 18 years and older can vote on the candidate they want to become president. It doesn't sound like there's much to it, but there's quite a bit that happens during election season. Every 4 years, on the second Tuesday of November, voters all across the United States line up at polling places and vote on the candidate they wish to become the president. Voting takes place inside of a voting booth where each voter privately fills out a ballot. All voters must be registered to vote and are not allowed to take pictures of the ballot. But what happens before Election Day? Before Election Day, voters listen to speeches and debates of the candidates who wish to run for president. This happens during what is known as the primary election season. This season starts the February before Election Day and it ends in June. Hopeful candidates from both main political parties, Republican and Democrat, as well as others, have opportunities to persuade voters to vote for them as their presidential candidate during the primary election. The presidential candidates are voted during the primary election season. Only one candidate from each political party can be chosen to run for president. Once the candidates are chosen, election season begins. During election season, the presidential candidates do everything they can to try and win votes. They attend various events, they appear on TV, they shake hands, do interviews, go on radio shows, give speeches, and participate in debates to try and persuade or convince people to vote for them. Voting for a president can be a tough decision. Voters need a lot of time to listen to each candidate speak and understand how they will help the country. This is why voting is so important. When you vote, you are helping to decide who gets to lead our country and make big decisions that affect the lives of millions of people. Each presidential candidate campaigns with a running mate. Campaigns help the voters get to know the candidates. The running mate of the candidate who wins the election will become the vice president of the United States. Anyone can run for president, but you have to follow a few simple guidelines. To run for president, you have to be at least 35 years old, and you must be sure that you are a natural-born citizen. Candidates who are elected president serve 4 years in office, but they can be re-elected and serve 4 more years. Always remember that your vote counts. When you're old enough to vote, be sure to exercise your right by registering to vote and visiting a polling place on Election Day. Vote for the candidate who you think can make your country a great place to live.